Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Viola Ray and this is my channel, Ray Rants. Um, and today I want to rant. Today I want to rant about the fact that, okay, I don't know if many of you know, but just to start off, I am Viola Ray. I'm 43 years old. I am a mother of four who suffers from bipolar disorder, bipolar 2 to be exact, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. I've been diagnosed with these disorders since I was about 17, 18. I've been in and out of therapy, off and on medications. I've even done a couple visits to mental health for a couple weeks. But overall, I've raised four beautiful, amazing children. I'm an assistant manager of a company that I work for. And I'm just here to shed light, share inspiration, tell my stories, and just hopefully help those who possibly deal with mental health issues or who just want to know, who are unaware of what it's like for a person to live with these issues. Okay, so anyway, let's get into this rant. So, with that being said, again, I've raised four amazing children, and I've done it mostly alone. Despite my mental illnesses, I've raised these children, and I've done a pretty great job at it. My oldest is 23. She's working. She has her own. She's independent. She takes care of herself. My twins are 20 years old. Well, they'll be 20 years old this year, April Fool's Day. Happy birthday to them. A couple weeks away, of course, but I'm a mother, so I'm always excited for them. They're both off in college. One's off getting his degree to be a welder. The other one is getting his arts degree. He's into photography, movie making, all of that stuff. He's great. And then I have my 15-year-old honor roll, great grades. She's always into the extracurricular activities. Just she's doing great. She's in ninth grade, my last one. And with that being said, people always tell me, especially people who know about the illnesses that I suffer through, people who know about the traumas, um, the traumatic childhood I've lived through, the things that have happened to me that have led to me having to now suffer from these mental illnesses. One of the things people always say to me is, oh, they're so shocked at how well my children turned out. I guess a lot of people expected, from watching me grow up, watching the traumas that I went through, the emotional disturbances in my family, things like that. And now knowing that I suffer from mental illnesses as a result, I guess people expected what? Me to be now strung out on drugs, my kids to be like all over the place, maybe my boys out in the street in jail, my girl's pregnant. I don't know. But none of these things has happened to my children. My children have grown up to be amazing. I thank God for these amazing children that I have. They are my reason for life. They are my reason for breathing. They are my reason for everything I do. They are the reason why I have held on. And at times when people feel like because of what I deal with and what I suffer from, oh, I should have just given up. But them kids right there, they are the exact reason why I don't. Um, yeah, and I wanted to rant about that because it's really not that hard to raise great children. Because here I am, a person who pretty much grew up without the love of a mother or a father. Because very early in my life, my mother decided to smoke crack. And during her crack years, she wasn't a mother. She wasn't there. Me and my siblings were split up. We lived all over the place, family member to family member, whoever would take us. And immediately once the family started to find out that my mother was getting high, my father was the first person, of course, to step in and take over. But he died shortly after, a few months later. And then from then, my life was just pretty much turmoil and hell. Yeah. So anyway, but despite all that, I still raised some amazing kids, and I thank God. I thank God for that. But the reason I raised these amazing kids, and again, it's not because I had these two amazing parents, to learn from. to show me the way. And even throughout life, even though my parents were there, I didn't have the greatest family members. My family members weren't that loving and supportive. It was times, you know, I was left out in the street, homeless, 14 years old. I was thrown out in the street with nowhere to go, by those who claimed to love me. After my father passed away, they left me out in the street at 14 years old with all of my clothes in a trash bag, and it was snowing. They even circled the block to see if I was still sitting there, and they saw that I was still sitting there crying in the snow, and they left me there. So there was really nobody in my life who showed me that parental love. There's really nobody in my family, for that matter, who showed me that family love. So throughout life, I grew up lacking that. I grew up lacking that love, that compassion, that understanding that only your mother, your father, your immediate family can give you. It wasn't the material things. It was none of that. Because before my mother went out on her crack binge, I don't know if that's the proper thing to say, but that's what comes to mind when I think of it. Before she went out on this binge, what have you, we had these things. We lived nice. My stepfather was in the service. We were army brats. We had all of these things, but it wasn't these things that I missed. It wasn't the material things that I missed. It was the love. It was the compassion. It was the understanding. It was all the things that your parents, your immediate family would shower on upon you that I did not get. So when I became a mother myself, I wasn't rich. So I couldn't even give my children all of these material things, even if that's what I was focused on, but I wasn't. What I was focused on was giving them what I did not have that meant the most to me. And that was love, understanding, compassion, respect. These are the things I gave to them. And these things that I gave to them produced four amazing, God, I couldn't have asked for better children. Amazing children. All four of them. All four of them. They give me no problems. I have no hassles. They are so respectful. They are so loving. Again, my 23-year-old, independent, take care of herself, got her own car. She's moving into her new apartment next month. My twins, both off to college, separate colleges, focused on their future. My 15-year-old is on the same path in ninth grade, just started high school this year. I am so proud. So I say this to say, love on your children. It don't take nothing special. Because here I am, as fucked up as I am, bipolar, PTSD, anxiety, and hella depression. And I still raise some amazing children. Why? Because I loved on them. I cared for them. I showed compassion, respect, understanding for them. I let nobody come before them. Nobody. I've had relationships, and I'm going to rant about that one day. I've had relationships. I've been in and out. And if that man wasn't making me and my children happy, that man had to go. He had to go. And same thing goes for family members, friends. Anybody act funny around me and mine, you got to go. Because it's me and mine first. This is us first. You can't sit with us unless we say so. You hear me? So I just, I don't want this video to be too long, but I just wanted to go on. I just wanted to talk about that. Maybe, one day in the future, I'll go deeper into that rant because it kills me. I remember growing up having a friend who had a child, and I used to remember her just constantly yelling at her child, and bitch this, bitch that, bitch this. And I remember thinking, damn, is bitch on her birth certificate? Like, did you actually name her that? Because I'm not understanding why I hear that, her being called that more than her actual name. So I need to know, is that name on her birth certificate? Because that's the only thing that would make it logical to me as to why You choose to keep calling her that name. If her name is not bitch, please stop calling her bitch. If your child's name is not motherfucker, stupid, dummy, nigga, don't call him that. It's not inspiring. It's not uplifting. It's not encouraging. And it damn sure ain't loving. Call them by the God-given name you gave them. And when you call it with love. Call it with respect. You want your children to respect you? Respect them. Show them respect. You make a decision that involves them, ask them about it. I don't care how young they are. That's how me and my kids do in life. Any decision I make that involves their life. 7 years ago, I made a decision to move from the home that they were familiar with for all of the life that they have been on this earth, for as long as they've been on this earth. And before I made that decision to uproot my family and move, I discussed it with my children. And we decided as a family that we wanted to make this move together. And it was the best move we've made. And we've been here ever since. And our lives have gotten better. So again, I say that to say, love your children. Speak life into your children. Don't yell at them. Don't degrade them. Don't down. Trust me. Take it from a woman who suffers, who battles with low self-esteem, identity issues from time to time, speaking up for herself because she wasn't loved on. She wasn't understood. And when she was spoken to, she was yelled at. She was spoke down to. That ain't love. And it don't produce love. So that's just my rant for today. I just want to tell everybody, just love on your kids. Love on your kids. Them your kids. You gave birth to them. Love them kids. And they gonna love you. They gonna love you. They gonna love you. My kids love me. And some days I worry. There's times where I worry that I'm not a good enough mother, that I'm not doing my job, that I'm fucking up. But then my kids remind me that they understand and they love me. And that's no better feeling in the world. My mother's going through the karma of what she's done to us in her younger years. Majority of her children don't speak to her today, and it hurts her. She is suffering with growing older alone because of her choices as a mother. Don't be that mother. Don't be that mother who sits around lonely wishing she had loved on her kids when she had the chance. Love your kids. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's my rant for today.